Hello my friends, once again, it is time to cook. Now today, I'm about to do something that I haven't done on camera, and that is cook steak. Now if you haven't seen how this beautiful atmosphere is now, you're looking at, this is the new kitchen. This is what they did to the this is what they did to the old kitchen that you've seen in previous videos. And as you see, a lot of floor, and this right here has been added. So this is our cooking area, not mine. This is our cooking area. As you see, everything that you see here, this is where I can actually cook. So today we are definitely going to be cooking some steak. And why I have this here is because we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 4. That's 4 over there. 4 pots. Why do we need all these pots? One can never know. But actually, I'm going to be cooking here in this area. Oh, 4 pots and a skillet. Move this skillet out the way because I am going to be using the skillet too. So, okay, and then we're going to be moving these. Throw these in here like so, hopefully. Yeah, this is also added. If I can fit these. Yes, I can. So, this is added. So, what we are going to do, as you can see this as is, put the light on. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is, you see there's nothing in here, right? Nothing in here. But with these right here, we're actually going to light things up. So what I usually do is I preheat the oven for about, let's say about 3, same time, nice even number. Because the preset default for our oven is always 350. So what I always do is I always make it for about 375, not too hot, and not too cool either. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put a little bit of water here, and there's a reason why. To help season the steak, it's going to become our gravy. And how does one make it gravy? Well, you do the following. First, we're going to season it, like so. Put enough seasoning in there just for the steak to pick up on it. And put a little black pepper in there. That's enough black pepper in there. And also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little teriyaki for flavoring with pineapple juice. Pineapple juice. And then, yes, pineapple juice is awesome. So we're going to do this. Like I said, it'll be enough for the steaks. And of course, we cannot forget the steaks themselves. Now, what I did was I went to Smart & Final for these steaks. And for these kind of steaks, since this is like a one-day thing for me to cook, the steaks are big enough. I don't wash my hands because I was outside. The steaks are big enough, even though they're the skillet variety. They're big enough to be cooked for 2 people. And like I said, if you look at this steak is big enough for 2 people. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cook 1 whole steak. 1 whole steak, as you can see right there, because it's big enough to hold for 2 people. So therefore, I am cooking for 2 people. Mine will be next, and of course, it'll be done in the same manner with these. Now, of course, what you want to do is you want to put some meat tenderizer on the steak. And like I said, you're probably wondering why I have all this set up. Well, it's smart that the way I do this would make sense. As you're looking at the steak in question, there's a reason why I do this. And that reason is because I need the experience of cook. And since I've taken this off, this is Chicago steak seasoning. And I say this is about enough for the seasoning. Like I said, it can be cooked on skillet, but I feel that if I'm going to be cooking anything on skillet, it's this right here. Now this is chicken Alfredo, and like I said, I'm cooking theirs first and then mine. But you don't need to see how I cook my steak because I cook it the same way as theirs. Only theirs take a little more time than mine because I'm cooking for them. I'm cooking for 2 people. So, by the way, this is burger seasoning. This is what I use for my burgers. Yeah, that's what I use for my Tenkai burgers. I also use Tenkaichi's Creole seasoning. So, therefore, as we are heating this up, behold, Tabasco sauce and hot sauce. But as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm preheating the oven for that long. And I'm also going to try and do all this at once because, well, why not? And as you can see here, I am making chicken Alfredo. So with Alfredo sauce, white meat chicken, and pasta and vegetables. Now I'm going to put my camera down only so you can see this right here. I mean, this right here. It's usually the preheating that takes its sweet ass time. However, when I cook it, I always bump it up to at least no bigger than, say, 413, as you see. I'm indeed dropping everything in here, yeah. If I am making somebody hungry out there who is actually watching this video, I have done my job. Now mind you, I'm cooking for my folks. But not to worry, when I cook for myself, my plate will be totally different. And it's perfect, it serves too. So it says you can cook on a stovetop in about 15 minutes. Not even breaking a sweat of what's going to happen while I'm cooking. But let this be known, that when I'm cooking something like this, I always make sure that when I'm cooking something, I make sure it is cooked. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing this for 15 minutes, but we're going to right now put the steak in, because like I said, it's big enough to serve two. I mean, as you look at it, and the thing about it, my folks don't eat as much, but like I said, I can cook, say, 2 steaks. They can split one, I can have a whole one. I can basically make something from there too, because, you know, why not? So what we're going to do is we're going to put the steak in the oven, close it up, like so. Now what I usually do is I let this thing cook for about an hour to about 90 minutes. An hour to an hour and a half. No longer than 2. Last time I actually cooked something, you know, for myself, and I actually browned this thing, and it actually came out pretty good despite me actually doing that. I browned it to the point of no return. It still came out okay, just crispy, that's all. But as you can see here, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm actually cooking this. I don't think I can put any water in this thing, as far as I know. It doesn't say. And as you can see, everything is just, you know, done and done. You're probably wondering why am I doing this. See, cover and cook. Well, I think this is a big enough cover. So, let this thing cover. It's big enough to be covered with. So, yeah. So, in about an hour or so, or less, we shall see the finished project of what I'm making here. But at least you know this is what I'm doing. So, as a recap, I will tell you how to make your own steak. Okay, when you're making your own steak, you can either do it oven or on a skillet. I suggest, depending on how strong your oven is, to heat it on high for about 375 degrees. Let the oven preheat, and then after that, you do your steaks however you want to do it. I did mine with water and a few selective seasonings, and on top of that, I'm just going to let that cook for a while, and of course I'm going to let this cook because, you know, and let this cook, and of course, you know, from time to time I'm going to make sure it's nice and warm as I flip it around a bit and stir and whatnot. So with that, yeah, within an hour, we shall check the so-called finished project, and then we shall eat, or at least they'll eat, and so will I. You won't be watching, but you know, you get the gist of it. And there you go. Now it's gonna cook. So with that, I have been the Tenkaichi Wonder Chef, and I have taught you how to make chicken Alfredo with Tenkai steak a la mode. All natural. Anyway, I'll see you around with more videos, or at least with the finished project. Till then, Tenkai Muso.